Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got a great blend for you guys tonight, so without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it. I've decided to extend Tilula month for an extra week, which makes it, hey gamer, welcome! Which makes it Tilula 2 months. Might as well. It had gone over a little bit longer than I had planned, so might as well just round it up and call it Tilula 2 month, and we're wrapping up the Tilula time frame with Park Ridge blend. And let me tell you, this smells incredible. Hey Zam, welcome! Thanks for joining. Sneha, welcome. So this, guys, has been smelling amazing, and I'm just absolutely loving it. So it's a green tea blend. Whoops, wrong side. It's a green tea blend with cocoa peels, orange peels, broken cocoa bits. So this is basically an orange chocolate green tea, and I gotta tell you, this has been smelling incredible. Hey Joe, welcome for joining. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what this looks like. Kind of looks like this is a Japanese green tea. If I can pull out a whole leaf. There we go. So this is looks like a piece of sencha. It's a really long needle-like green tea, and it's kind of a dark green. I don't know if it shows up very well on the screen. On my end, it kind of looks like a brown, but in the light, in the correct light, you're going to see more of a dark green, which is significant of a more, it does give that needle vibe. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's how I can tell that it's a Japanese green tea versus a Chinese green tea. Usually Chinese green teas are either twisted or curled in some sort of way. And so it's very distinct because it's either roasted or fried in a wok or whatnot. Meanwhile, Japanese green teas are they're steamed, and they tend to have more of a salty seaweed flavor. So I was talking to Juliet, who is one of the managers at Tilula, and I had never opened up this packet until today. And I was surprised to find out that they use the Japanese, just now, they use the Japanese green tea instead of a Chinese green tea, because I was guessing that they would use a lighter blend to go with the orange and the chocolate. But I'm surprised to find out that it's got more of a seaweed saltiness to it. I haven't tasted it yet, but you know, like that's just what you get from a Japanese green tea. From the smell, it's a lot of creamy chocolate, a little bit of orange, but it's not super duper prevalent. But I am excited to give this one my first slurp. Ooh, that is really nice. There is a kind of cereal-like smell to it. It smells kind of like you're gonna find this funny, but when I was a kid, I took Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles together and poured it out to make one bowl, and that's exactly what this smells like. It smells like the chocolate and the fruit. I'm really I'm impressed so far, and I haven't even tasted it yet. Oh my god, that is so good. Okay, so here we go. First slurp. Oh, that is smooth. Ooh, let me get that again. Hey, Juliet, welcome. You see, I know that you were waiting to see my reaction. This is a surprise, because isn't it exactly as I was saying? Like hey Ma, welcome. The Cocoa Pebbles and the Fruity Pebbles both in one. I love this. And I'm surprised that they chose a Japanese green tea, because generally a Japanese green tea is very profound and it gives that saltiness. But in this case, it's giving it the more cereal base. Like, you know how Fruity Pebbles has that graininess to it, that adds like this, just that oat cereal kind of rice taste to it. That's what I'm getting from this. So it's the complete package. You're getting the flavor of the Cocoa Pebbles, you're getting the flavor of the Fruity Pebbles, and the actual cereal in the middle. This is a very unique blend. That is really good. And I made sure not to oversteep it, so I got it to about like 190 degrees in the 190 degrees temperature, or was it? Yeah, no, it was 190, and for 3 minutes. So I understeeped it the way you should do any green tea, but specifically a Japanese green tea, because they're not as robust as a lot of Chinese green teas, like the gunpowder. And that was the discussion that I was having before. I didn't know if they use a gunpowder green, which has the heavy, kind of smokier flavor, or a Dragon Well, which is lighter, crisper, more vegetal. And I was wrong on both accounts, because all it says on the label is green tea. So I had a lot to work with. But it is super smooth. I mean, it's really uncanny how much this tastes like Fruity Pebbles, and I like it. It's a nice bonus notes. They're selling themselves short. Well, kind of, sorta. I mean, like, there's no like description on here that really talks about the flavor pattern. You're basically left to the imagination. So it's a Chinese sencha? Does China make sencha? No, Japan makes sencha, and China makes the, oh god, what is that strain? It's the one that they use specifically for Dragon Well. Oh, I forgot the name of it. But yeah, like, this is, it's got a nice crisp flavor. I kind of want to taste it. I want to kind of taste it cold or with milk, just to get the full cereal effect. If you saw a tea that said tastes like Fruity Pebbles, I'm on it right away. Oh yeah, I do not blame you 100%. I'm there. You know, there are a few teas that have that. There's one, what is it? It's a butterfly pea flower blend from Adagio. It's Bella Luna Blue, and it's got that same kind of flavor pattern. Uses totally different ingredients to get that same flavor. They use actual fruit in it, I believe, or I know that they use lemongrass. I don't know if they actually, I don't think they put berries in it though. Like, it's just it's flavored. This one gets about the same effect, but in a more roundabout way. You get the orange and the chocolate, and it's just really like, it's surprising. Because from the description, I mean, like, all it says is cocoa bits, what was it? Orange peels, green tea, orange. Yeah, cocoa peel and cocoa bits. Now, I don't know what the difference between cocoa bits and cocoa peel is. I would imagine maybe getting, because I do see little flecks. I don't know if you guys can see it. Little flecks of brown in there. I'm assuming those are the bits. And then the peels are probably going to be longer and thinner. But the lighting is not too good to make a good differentiation. The orange peels pop out right away. Like, you can see that no problem. There are, let me see, I'm going through the tea itself. And I do kind of sort of see differentiating pieces of cocoa. Like, this right here is a cocoa bit. I don't know if I'll be able to like differentiate a cocoa peel, because I'm imagining it looks a lot like the same shape of the tea. But I'm not going to... Oh, wait, no, here we go. Here we go. So the cocoa peels look like the cocoa bits, but like the skin. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like just the skin of it. So Juliet says it's Essentia base, and I'll tell you what it tastes like to me. Pepperidge Farm orange Milano cookies with the orange and the chocolate. Yeah, like I get that, because the Essentia gives that cookie kind of base, right? And that's kind of what I'm comparing it to, the like the cereal portion of the Fruity Pebbles and the Cocoa Pebbles. And this is like, I'm seriously, this is the dessert tea I was not expecting. Because I mean, like I was expecting more of a, just like a sweet tea, but not necessarily a dessert tea. This one has an unexpected creaminess to it that I'm assuming. All right, Joe, see you later. Thanks for joining. It's got an unexpected creaminess that adds a certain layer of sweet. Like Sencha tends to be a little bit creamy with its salty, with its kind of like salty seaweed base, but it's got a texture to it, and this one has a texture to it as well that really brings out the sweetness of the orange and the chocolate, but kind of undermines the saltiness of the sencha itself. Ooh, I am like super curious right now. I'm gonna put in some cream, because this one it really needs it. I'll be right back. Yeah. Here we go. I was not expecting to put a little bit of cream in this one, but my like curiosity is just getting the better of me. And also keep in mind, because there are orange pieces in here, that might curl the cream just a little bit, so I know what to expect. If you have curdled cream issues, I would not recommend doing it. So far so good. Let me just spin it around a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't really curdle. So let's give it a shot. So it adds like a little bit more texture to it, but not really a whole lot of sweetness. Like the same level of sweetness is there, and it adds a certain texture from the creaminess, but not like, I'm not really getting a whole lot of enhanced sweetness. And that might just be because I didn't put a whole lot, but it really doesn't take away anything at all either. Like honestly, I could have gone without the cream. This one doesn't really need it, but my curiosity just got the better of me. Maybe with milk, it's got a heavier base, because I'm not using cream. I'm using like creamer, which usually has a powder base. They just did the work for me. But in this case, yeah, it's only enhancing the texture and not really the taste. Which, I mean, like, it's hard to enhance something that tastes so good already, And also, I failed to mention before I put the cream in there how see-through and how clear the liqueur is. It had that nice golden look to it from a green tea perspective. There wasn't a whole lot of green flavor, green color to it, mainly because it had like the brown of the cocoa. What was it? Sometimes creamer might be too heavy for this tea. Yeah, like I mean, when I usually cream a tea, it's for the heavier blends, like English breakfast or like an Assam or something. So that shows a really big difference, you know, for the teas that need it. Since this one doesn't need it because it had a creamy base to it anyway, it really didn't make much of a difference. And I'm kind of relieved because, you know, like, I don't want to advise to ruin a tea, and it's a very rare thing when I actually add any kind of sweetness. Use milk because the fat can make this tea, can mask this tea. Yeah, like that's. I mean, it would be doing the tea a disservice, you know, because it would really take away from the experience. So I think just my curiosity got the better of me. Luckily, it didn't ruin the tea, but like that is a very real possibility. And that's why I rarely, until I am very familiar with how a tea tastes, I don't sweeten it at all, unless it's like super bitter. And even then, you know, like, if it's super bitter, I'm not gonna buy it in the first place. But like, sometimes you just don't know. You know, I mean, there's gonna be teas that are either meant to be bitter, which you would know by just knowing the history of the tea or the experience and whatnot, or just a vendor that uses a cheap leaf. And once I realize that this vendor uses cheap leaves, I don't go back. So, you know, in cases like this, it's good to know the product and to become very familiar with it before you decide to tinker with it as well. It also takes a certain amount of experimenting with the steeping process, because that can also determine how bitter a tea is or how textured the tea is, because over steeping a tea can ruin the texture as well. I'm going to go ahead and do the Thomas taste and see how this goes. Okay. Holding it in my mouth, I'm getting a bigger amount of the green tea. Like in a passing sense, when you're drinking it semi-quickly, you're not holding it in your tongue for very long, that goes a long way. When you hold it on your tongue and you like look for certain notes, it's there. The green tea is definitely there, and it is slightly salty, not astringent at all, which it's really hard to, I mean, unless you purposefully oversteep a Japanese green tea, you're generally not going to find as much astringency as you would in a Chinese green tea, because Chinese green teas are they're more harshly oxidized. You know, they're beaten and they're fried, or they're what was this nice shirt? Snea knows how to pick a shirt. She didn't pick this one. Thank you very much. This is all my taste. I had this while I was still living in New York. Thank you, Teresa. No, anyway. Oh, don't take credit. Don't take credit for my impeccable fashion sense. No, anyway. Okay, so it's usually fried or roasted on a wok, or it's sent into an oven. Meanwhile, Japanese green teas are steamed like 15 seconds at a time, so the leaves themselves don't get beat up. The leaves, they tend to like shrivel, and that's why they look the way that they do. They basically shrivel up into little needles, and they basically shrink, for lack of a better word, rather than get beaten and bruised. The way that they're oxidized is the hot water, the hot steam, pulls out the liquid, the juices in the leaf that give it the flavor. So that being said, what was this? Well, they sell items for shriveled up things. You came specifically for that, didn't you, Jose? Like, your timing is just as impeccable as my fashion sense. But because of the process, you get like a more a sturdier kind of leaf. But well, no, you know what? Because I'm correcting myself as I go. Because the Chinese green teas, depending on if they're rolled up or twisted or something, that also plays into how much heat that they can take. So it really varies from blend to blend. Oh, you've been on for a while. You were just waiting for that for that opportunity. Oh, I get it. I do the same thing. This doesn't always tell me who comes in, so I'm glad you joined me anyway. But okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So like, it's really hard to oversteep a Japanese tea versus the Chinese tea. However, there's a lot of exceptions to that rule. The ones who are twisted, like what is it, like the gunpowder tea, that tends to be balled up, and that can take a little bit more punishment because like the hot water would need to open the leaf first before it can start doing damage. So there's a whole lot of stuff that it's hard for me to get into all at once. Oh, excuse me. I think I need another one. But I said all of that to say this. This is a very smooth blend. You know, there's like such little... Is that you do dig the shirt though? Thanks. There's such little nuances in this blend that they really culminate to make a really smooth experience. I am like thoroughly enjoying. I don't know why you're thanking, why you're saying thanks. This is all me. You did not choose it. All them lies. Lies! I am 41 years old. I am perfectly capable of dressing myself. Thank you very much. I learned that since I was 10 years old. Anyway, okay. Announcements. I don't have any announcements off the top of my head. Things have been happening in the background. And I am making plans for future opportunities. Now that everything is starting to open up, I have found a couple spots to capable capable. No. I have found a couple new tea spots that I want to check out. One in particular is I've heard about. I just went to the website the other day. I don't even know if they have a brick and mortar store, but I do have an address. So I'm going to do a little bit of research and see if we could like have a just a little get together. I mean, I don't even want to call it an outing because like we're not even able to get big groups together yet. So I'm scouting locations to see what's going on, and yeah, like I mean, I would love to be able to see you guys in person and do more tea-related events. That being said, once the tea shops are fully open, fully able to accept bigger crowds, then we'll start setting things up. I have a bunch of ideas, and there is something also in the works with another. I'm not going to say who it is yet, because nothing is set in stone yet. But I am in talks with doing an event with a different vendor. So we'll see. We'll see. So that's something that's in the works right now, and hopefully that will pay off. If not, you can just ignore what I said for the past couple of minutes. Questions, comments, and anything you want to talk about, now is the time. I'm going to answer Teresa's question, as I always do. What would I pair this with? Milk. Cereal and milk go hand in hand. Can't go wrong with that. Fruity Pebbles. What does Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles go with? I am feeling like this is good for donuts. Like, I feel like this is the kind of tea where you grab a donut and you can just dunk it right in, and you get that nice sweet flavor adding to it. I don't know if anybody still dunks their donuts. I kind of sort of do. I'm not going to be one of those guys who denies it. No, I dunk my donuts from time to time, because I am 12. I would go with cake. This would actually go very well with cake. Like more on the vanilla side than the chocolate, because like chocolate tends to, you have like the chocolate with the cocoa in here that might overpower the fruit side. So I would stay with a neutral kind of cake, maybe an angel food, something like that. Yeah. What is that? That second one looks like a flan to me. I see a birthday cake and flan. Not a bad combination, though. Oh my god, I'm kind of stuffed. This is... Whew. Oh my god, I had a bit of a big breakfast, so now it's like sitting there and I am ready to like just pass out on the bed, just bah. This, and like green tea is generally moderately caffeinated, so I mean, like I'm feeling kind of alert, kind of awake, but that doesn't mean that like I'm stuffed and I'm just gonna be restless. No, I am like in this really, what is this? I got the itis. I absolutely do. I am not gonna lie, like this thing is like settling down in my stomach real nice right about now, and I'm feeling mellow, and that's just how I like to end my day, like with a nice cup of tea and let it just sink in, and I can just sit in front of the TV and relax and put something on. Oh, something in the air. I'm like getting a little bit congested. But anyway. Oh, I've been drinking and not paying attention. I'm almost done. So, okay, so there is a little bit of sediment. I'm assuming it's from the cocoa, because it all looks brown. A little bit of cocoa powder at the end. That's just a little bonus. This is for the kid in me. It's like, hey, the chocolate's on the bottom. Oh, but I'm going to open up the floor one last time. Then questions, comments, anything you want to talk about. Now is the time, because this is not going to last. Ooh, that is so good. I'm so glad that I have like the, what is this? 50 grams. This is 50 grams worth. And I'm going to be enjoying it a lot. I'm gonna ice it. I'm going to ice this and see how it comes out. because I'm loving the way that it tastes hot. Anyway, thank you all for joining me tonight. This has been a really great blend. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm going to enjoy it continually. I'm going to put the link in the description, as I always do, but I thoroughly recommend that you guys taste this for yourself, because this is a treat and a half. So until next time, have a wonderful 3-day weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye!